Hi everyone and welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
So Judy has almost completed her latest book and it's called The Hijacking of Planet Earth, It's Time to Wake Up. So that title alone carries a profound energy. So over the next few episodes we're going to discuss this book starting today with the very powerful title and introduction. So Judy, why the title? The Hijacking of Planet Earth, It's Time to Wake Up. How did you come up with that?
Hi Paula. That is what we were told up on our ship back in November of 2011. There was a meeting on the ship to discuss the hijacking of Earth, which was the words they used, and they wanted volunteers to help wake humanity up to the fact that they've been controlled and enslaved by the ones I refer to as the Repterrans for literally millennia.
So when you say they, who are you referring to?
All the folks up on the ship. It was one of the motherships, so heaps of people from lots of different places in the universe were there. It was a pretty major meeting as the situation on Earth has gone on way too long. Intervention is badly needed. Up until now, the universal family has had to stand back as free will on Earth needed to play out. But now Earth is shifting to a higher energy frequency. So those who are ready for the shift need to be woken up to what's really been going on. This is why I was asked back in 1995 to start writing my books. I just had my first two books, The Zeta Message and Human by Day, Zeta by Night, published, so I really felt I'd done enough for now. So I very quietly and unobtrusively stepped behind a group of tall Pleiadians so I wouldn't be noticed. Our Pleiadian friends up there have a great sense of humour and a lot of gentle teasing goes on, so one of them pushed me forward with the suggestion that I write another book on the subject. Writing a book is not an easy job, lots of work involved, and I just finished two of them, so I was not happy, but everyone else thought it was a great idea.
Do you think that everyone up on the ship that night knew that you weren't happy about it? Because they must have known.
Oh, I'm not sure. I stepped back as unobtrusively as I could, just sort of melted away into the background, but obviously my Pleiadian pals knew what I was up to. I hoped that I wouldn't remember when I woke up the following morning, but I did. So bit by bit I started thinking about it and writing a few notes down. Then out of the blue my publisher came up with the suggestion, so maybe he was at the meeting as well.
The suggestion that you write a book about it?
Yep, maybe he was there or else he's just very psychic.
Well, that's testament to how everything is playing out by divine timing, isn't it?
Yeah, Paula, that's for sure. As our great teacher Horus always said, in the greater reality there are no accidents.
Yeah, I like that. Just to be clear, the book that you're talking about is your book that was released in 2018 called Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History. And this book, The Hijacking of Planet Earth, It's Time to Wake Up, is an updated and simpler version of Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History. The Hijacking of Planet Earth, It's Time to Wake Up is a perfect name for that book, don't you think?
Yeah, I reckon it basically says it all.
Yeah. And you noted something interesting in the introduction about the November night. What was that?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure of the date, the night I was up on the ship, but I think it was 11/11/11. I do know that it was November of 2011. I know that. It was just around that time.
So is there anything in the introduction that you'd like to highlight?
Yes, there is, Paula. That book of Greg Braden's that you passed on to me to read, entitled Pure Human, The Hidden Truth of Our Divinity, Power and Destiny. This book sums up beautifully what we've been talking about in many of our podcasts and what I'm trying to get across in this new book of mine, The Hijacking of Planet Earth. This is absolutely vital information if we, as Earth humans, want to evolve to the next level. To quote from the last paragraph of the introduction to my book, the time for open ET contact is fast approaching, quite possibly within the next 5 years. Up-to-date information is desperately required to prepare humanity for this momentous event, with deeper understanding of the incredible brainwashing and manipulation that's gone on down here for millennia by the planetary hijackers, the ones I call the Repterrans, along with the Anunnaki, who are the hidden power behind so much of religion, science and planetary governments. The time is now. And to quote from Greg Braden's book, within our divinity, the soul or God essence within us all, that is held the secret of all secrets. It's through the expression of our divine nature that we awaken an extraordinary force that is so rare, so beautiful and so powerful that there are beings and organisations in the world that will go to any extreme to keep the process hidden from us, presence hidden from us. Mysterious societies were established over the centuries in an effort to confine the knowledge of this power, our human divinity, to a few selected individuals. End of quote. But here I'd like to add religion is a perfect example of this.
Yes, religion can be seen as one example of how our understanding of the divine has, at times, been placed into the hands of institutions, doctrines and authorities, suggesting that the sacred exists somewhere outside of us rather than within us.
Yes, religion has been a very cunning way that the planetary controllers have used to disempower us and create fear of a judgmental God figure, hell, purgatory, etc., and also to encourage ego and intolerance for the beliefs of others. Millions of people on Earth have been killed in the name of religion, and it still goes on to this day. So many followers of all the many religions of Earth firmly believe that their religion is right and all others are wrong, or their God is the only true God. They cannot understand that this so-called God is simply pure universal life force energy that is within all of us, and that all religions have their good and bad points. The bottom line is unconditional love, and being intolerant and prejudiced against other people's belief systems is not the practice of unconditional love.
No. And this does not mean that all religion is wrong, nor that we must turn away from the traditions that have shaped us. Because for so many of us, religion has been a beautiful and deeply meaningful part of our journey. I know it has been part of mine.
Oh yes, Paula, absolutely. Same here. I was very drawn to religion in my early teens, having been educated in a Catholic convent, as you were. As long as religion is based on unconditional love, it's fine and very necessary for many people. It's when the fear or ego factor is brought in, that's when problems arise. All religions have their place to make us aware that we are way more than just a physical body.
Yes, and like you say, many times in our episodes, it's time to wake up. And so many things point to this moment, a moment in human consciousness where much of what has been accepted without question is being brought into the light for us to examine for ourselves.
That's for sure. But it does take courage for us to do this. Humans of Earth have been dumbed down and made so reliant upon these so-called higher authorities that many folks just don't know where to start.
Yeah, perhaps we are being invited to look again with open hearts and discerning minds, to take what brings us closer to love, compassion, truth, and the divine, and to gently leave behind whatever no longer resonates with the deepest knowing within us.
It takes a lot of courage, and the key to that courage is knowing that we all have the God essence within. God is not an old bearded man up on a cloud. God is a higher energy within all of us, and we are all immortal spiritual beings. As we've said in our podcast so many times, it all boils down to choosing love over fear. That's the bottom line. Even those who carry out the most awful, dastardly acts, it is all to do with fear. Their souls lost in fear, and I can see this so clearly in many of the so-called authorities on Earth. Politics is full of it, just so much fear and ego.
It's choosing love over fear. That's the bottom line. So if you'd like to read more about all of this, Judy's books can be accessed from Amazon through her website listed below, and they are
Human by Day, Zeta by Night, followed by the Zeta Message, then Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An interview with an alien, comments by an undercover ET, and cosmic spirituality blending religion and science in oneness from an off-planet perspective.
Thanks so much, Jude, and thanks everyone for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. Sending you much love and bye for now.